when your parent has cancer and when you're going to bed at night and when you're in your room and you think that the world has left you alone, you are just out in the wilderness in this unknown disease that you can't explain because sometimes the doctors doesn't ever seem like they can explain it, and it just leaves you really confused sometimes. And Camp Kesem is important because it makes you understand that not only is it okay to sometimes be confused, but it's okay to have fun and it's okay to cherish the good times that you have and understand that even though that there's darkness in our world and that there's cancer in our world, there's other people that are dealing with it that are going to help us to get through it.
After camp, before camp, it's a big difference, a very big difference.
There is no love that is like Camp Kesem love because it is just so unique. There's no judgment, and you can come here and you can be yourself and you can talk to other people who have been through nearly exactly what you've been through.
When I'm at Camp Kesem, I'm the happiest person I've ever been that whole year.
It's so much better than I would have ever expected. I didn't expect to feel like this just atmosphere of happiness and positivity, even though we're all fighting cancer, in our own way.
Camp Magic is this feeling in your chest that you can't contain. It has to come out of you.
It's just there. It's in you. All right. It's here. It's in your heart.
It's really honestly not about cancer here. It's about loving each other and bringing each other out.
This is a special place. It's home for me and other kids, so yeah.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 8th Annual Make the Magic supporting Camp Kesem at the University of Washington. My name is Kevin Pham, but the campers better know me as Russell.
And my name is Shelby Cornelius, better known to campers as Sherbert. We are your 2020-2021 directors for Camp Kesem UW, and we are honored to welcome you here tonight to help us serve our mission of making sure no child affected by a parent's cancer ever feels alone. Our chapter was founded in 2012 with a generous donation from the Livestrong Grant. For the past 7 years, we have been serving the Pacific Northwest, and as of last year, we are one of 2 chapters in Washington State. We grew from serving 30 campers and their families our first year to 190 campers in 2019 and are reaching to serve even more over 2 weeks of magic this summer. We have over 50 student volunteers who have been working tirelessly to support our families, and you'll see some of them here tonight, as well as others behind the scenes. From making birthday cards, to training our student volunteers, to planning the week of camp itself, they have put in countless hours, and we would like to thank them for their contributions.
This past year has brought unprecedented changes. With schools and extracurricular activities shifting to an online format, the need for Kesem is more present than ever. COVID restrictions and current events in this past year have amplified the isolation felt by our campers and accentuated the effects of cancer on their childhood experience. By being here tonight, you're helping us bring the love, hope, joy, and magic of Camp Kesem to the community in Washington that needs it the most. So thank you for being here. Whether you are a longtime supporter of our chapter or this is your first time joining, welcome to the Kesem family, and we hope you enjoy Make the Magic.
Hello everyone, welcome to our first virtual Make the Magic event benefiting Camp Kesem. My name is Haley Masters, but I'm better known as Goldfish. I'm a junior at the UW with a double major in microbiology and international studies. I've been involved in Camp Kesem since 2019, and I'm currently one of your Make the Magic coordinators and a counselor here at my college. I'm excited to be here tonight and to serve as one of the MCs, and joining me is Michaela Todd and Sammy Blue.
Thanks, Goldfish. Hi everyone, my name is Michaela, but my Kesem family calls me Cupcake. I recently graduated from the University of Washington with my bachelor's degree in medical anthropology and global health. I joined my Kesem chapter my freshman year, and since then have served as a counselor and Make the Magic coordinator for the past 3 years. I plan to start my graduate degree in public health nutrition at George Washington University this fall.
Thanks, Cupcake. My name is Sammy, but at camp my name is Cinnamon. I'm graduating from UW in 6 weeks with a degree in molecular, cellular, and developmental biology and a minor in global health. This is my 3rd year as counselor with Camp Kesem at UW, and my 2nd as Make the Magic coordinator. We are so honored to serve as your co-host for this evening.
We want to voice that this is a challenging time, and we are so grateful to all of you for being here tonight to celebrate Camp Kesem and to learn more about what we do. The COVID-19 pandemic disproportionately affects those who are immunocompromised, many of whom are parents or guardians of the children we support. There is no question that this has put an extra strain on the families we serve at this time. Camp Kesem will continue to be there for these families. For the 2nd summer, we will be converting our in-person camp program to Kesem at Home for our camper families. We are super excited about this opportunity to build upon what we learned last summer and to continue to introduce new and innovative ways to keep our Kesem community connected and build a sense of belonging and confidence despite not being able to be there in person. Kesem will always be here to provide families hope, but our capacity to support all of our wonderful families and campers is dependent on our ability to raise funds for our year-round programming, including year programs where we host monthly virtual cabin chats for our campers and for our Kesem at Home this summer. You'll have the opportunity later to be a part of that support. Without you, we can't do any of this.
Today, there are more than 5 million children affected by a parent's cancer. These children can feel isolated from peers, anxious, and hopeless. They can have a loss of social interest and negative academic performance. Many have had to unexpectedly take on adult responsibilities at home. Over the past year, these emotions have been compounded by COVID-19, which resulted in remote learning, increased social isolation, and the additional stress of protecting the safety of family members who have cancer and are immunocompromised. This year, Kesem matters more than ever. These children need us more than ever.
Our chapter is one of over 130 chapters in the Kesem community, all working together toward a shared mission to support children impacted by a parent's cancer. This chapter is working to not only support children in our immediate geography, but we also have the power to work with other chapters in our region to support even more kids. We do this through what we call Kesem It Forward. Through this approach, chapters are able to support each other monetarily, helping each other to serve as many children as possible. The money we raise tonight may be not only used for our chapter, but for other chapters in our region or across the country to serve more children. And that's what it's all about, simply serving more kids who need Kesem.
We are excited that the opportunity to be in person again is more than a glimmer of hope in the distant future. We are working hard to understand how quickly we can provide in-person programming to our campers. We can definitively say that we will be returning to in-person Friends and Family Days this fall. We also know that camp will be in person in the summer of 2022, and we will definitely need funding to ensure that we can host as many children as possible. We're also looking forward to introducing additional in-person programs this fall, with more details to come as they are available. Here to explain a little bit more about the importance of fundraising for Kesem is our CEO, Rich Scrappy Siegel.
Greetings, friends and family of Kesem. My name is Rich Siegel, Kesem named Scrappy, and I am the Chief Executive Officer here at Kesem. I'd like to, first of all, welcome you to 2021's Make the Magic, and I would also, most importantly, thank you for your attendance here. Thank you for the attendance, and thank you for your support of everything that this chapter does, along with Kesem, to provide needed services to children facing a parent's cancer. You are part of something that is vital in the lives of the kids that we serve. It's it's a service for a community that is often overlooked, frankly, in the broader context of the cancer journey. When cancer is an awful thing, and it's a tragic thing, and it strikes at random, and often it strikes people in the prime of their lives. But cancer doesn't just strike the actual patient involved. Cancer strikes the family of the patient involved as well, and everybody that person knows. And I happen to have personal experience with this in that I am the spouse of a cancer survivor. And Kelly and I have been dealing with the diagnosis, the treatment, and the post-treatment ramifications of cancer for this year. It'll be 20 years, actually. So I'm very, very aware of how how cancer can act like a tornado that comes crashing into a home, not just impacting the one person, but everybody that loves that person as well. And I faced this as a family member, as a spouse, when I was 35 years old. But it's not just the spouse that's involved. When you have a young mother, a young father who receives a cancer diagnosis, the children in the family are deeply impacted as well. And that's what we do at Kesem, is recognize this and recognize the special needs of these children, because very often these kids will be dealing with the potential threat to their father, to their mother, and the potential for actually losing one of the most important people in that child's life, and that child, even with assistance from very caring adults, is often in his or her own head feeling very, very alone, feeling very, very isolated, because that child could be sitting in a classroom with 25 other kids when they're doing math or they're doing reading, but that child is thinking about what's happening to her mom or to her dad. And that can be very isolating, and that's very lonely, because she knows that she's the only one in the room who's going through this. So what we do at Kesem is we create a community for those children. We bring them together with kids who are similarly situated, so that they know they're not alone. And then by having people around them who just understand them, who just intrinsically get what they're going through, it allows the kids to relax and to feel more stable, and frankly, to have fun. And so that's what we do at Kesem that's different from what other organizations provide, is we don't bring kids together to talk about cancer. We bring kids together to be kids and to have fun. And so it's an amazing thing, because when you allow kids to relax and to be in a supportive community, and you just ask them to have fun, they blossom. And that's the magic that we create here at Kesem. And we cannot do it without the support of our college student leaders, who are amazing, amazing people. And these are the people who are around you, who are putting on this Make the Magic today, who not only raise the lion's share of the funding to actually put on the camp programs that we provide to our kids, but they are the counselors, and they are the companions for all of our kids, and they run everything. But they, most importantly, are the people who the children react with and respond to, and will remember for the rest of their lives as having been there in a really awful time in their lives, in the lives of these children. And it creates a bond not just among the kids in our camps, but with the counselors and the other student leaders as well. And your presence here at Make the Magic allows all of this to take place. And that's why it's so important that you're here. And I'm so thankful for your support. And so first of all, thank you for purchasing the ticket, but then also a little later on in this program, you're going to be asked to make other contributions to help support your chapter provide the services to the kids in your area. So thank you very much again for being here and being supportive. Sorry, my screen just went dark. And for everything that you do for Kesem, because we cannot do what we do for our kids without you. So thank you again. Scrappy out.
Thank you all so much for being here this evening. Tonight would not be possible without all of you, so thank you for being here and giving us a chance to share a little of the fun and magic we see every day in our work with Kesem.
Fun. That is not a word you normally associate with cancer, but it is a word that we hear a lot when we talk about Kesem, and it is the first word that comes to my mind when I think about Kesem. Kesem is a magical place for children to escape and to experience the unparalleled joy of childhood. The toll that cancer places on a family often requires kids to grow up faster and lose out on the innocence of being a kid. Here at Camp Kesem, we give these kids the opportunity to be kids again.
That's so true, Cinnamon. So whether it's getting pied in the face, partaking in a Zoom dance party, or going by a funky nickname all week, Kesem gives our campers a chance to just be a kid. And through that, we provide our campers with the support they need and the awareness that they are not alone and that they have their Kesem family to lean on, especially through the most difficult times.
We have a great night planned for you this evening, and we hope you leave here feeling moved and inspired to see the impact your support has, not just during the 1 week of camp, but in the lives of campers, parents, student leaders, and alumni. So thank you for joining us, and it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage a very special member of the Kesem family, alumna Rachel Kitty Hand, a former counselor and CKUW director, who will share her Kesem story.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Hand, but here with Kesem, many of you will know me as Kitty. I'm so excited and honored to be with you here tonight. I know that we've all had our fair share of Zoom calls over the last year, but this is one I'm pretty happy to be on. Thank you for spending your evening with us, making magic and changing lives. Tonight, I'd like to ask you all a question that we ask our campers and volunteers every year. Why do you Kesem? Who or what do you Kesem for? I have a few answers to this question myself, and I'd like to share them with you. I Kesem for my dad, for my mom, and for all of our campers, past, present, and future. Kesem is really special to me because while I didn't get to attend camp as a kid, I consider myself an honorary camper. I was 5 when my dad was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called choroidal melanoma for the first time, which is fancy doctor talk for cancer in his left eye. Now, at 5 years old, I didn't really know what was happening. If I'm being honest, looking back, I don't really remember all that much. I remember being scared and sad, but mostly because my family was scared and sad. My dad fought, and he underwent treatments, and he made it into remission, and he was okay for a little bit. But when I was 10, he was re-diagnosed, and this time I knew just a little bit more. I understood why we were in the hospital, I knew what cancer was, and I understood what it would mean to lose him. Given how rare his cancer was, the doctors decided the best plan of action would be to remove my dad's eye entirely and get him fitted for an implant, which is a glass eye. While this was scary, it was also supposed to give me my dad back, and it did. We got 6 more years of bad dad jokes, math tutoring, birthdays, holidays, and memories that I'm lucky to have. But I was 16 when he was diagnosed for a 3rd time. This time, it just felt clear from the start that something was different. I couldn't tell you what, but something was different. I was old enough now to really understand what was happening and to know and comprehend the loss that we were about to experience. My dad fought hard with surgeries and treatments, but the cancer was more aggressive than it had been in the past, and he died in May of 2013. I didn't know what to do or how to live in a world without my dad. I still don't, really. I couldn't stop thinking about how unfair it was and how alone I felt, even though I had family and a support system. There is just something about being around people who just get it, who aren't related to you. Friends who know. Little did I know, I was pretty close to finding that. My brother discovered Camp Kesem at UW the fall after our dad died, and the first thing he ever said to me about Kesem was that he found somewhere for kids like us. The second thing he ever said to me about Kesem was that if I joined, it would change my life. He was right on both counts. Camp Kesem played a big part in my choice to go to UW. My brother's memories of camp made me want to have that experience for myself, so I quickly got involved and became known as Goose's little sister. I was really excited to follow in his footsteps and make sure that each kid had a place to go where they weren't the cancer kid. It was spring quarter of that first year of college when I got a text that stopped my world again. My mom had been diagnosed with breast cancer only 3 years after she'd lost the love of her life to cancer. It seemed too cruel to be real, and I didn't know what to do. I felt entirely powerless. My first thought was to cancel everything I had planned and make sure I was there for every second of her battle, even if it meant missing camp. My mom didn't want me to miss anything, so she made sure that I went to camp, and I will always be grateful she did. That summer was transformative. While camp is impactful regardless of your personal connection to cancer, it's really something else to experience the love and support of Kesem right when you need it the most. For the first time that summer, I felt like I was normal in the sense that other people could understand and relate to everything I was going through. I learned that the fear I had of losing my mom wasn't something to be ashamed of. I learned that I was allowed to be sad and angry and upset about my pain, but it was okay to be happy too. I had been so afraid to be joyful or happy because there was so much to be sad about. But it didn't have to be that way. Joy and fear can exist simultaneously. I'd never heard anyone validate the things I was feeling until that week. I was a counselor for the youngest unit, the 5 to 7-year-old kids. You may not think that working with the littles would leave you with some profound realization, but I learned more from those kids than I could have ever imagined. I walked away from my first week of camp with a forever family, the knowledge that I would never truly be alone, and a whole lot of camp songs stuck in my head. My mom finished chemo and surgeries in the following months, and I'm happy to tell you she is still in remission. I know everybody says this, but my mom really is my superhero. She ended up volunteering as camp photographer for a couple of years, so she goes by Pixel here with Kesem. Something that I've been thinking about recently is that when my dad died, I didn't just lose a father. My mom lost the love of her life, her forever. I was so focused on my own loss as a teenager that I just didn't think about it. But looking back, it's heartbreaking and at the same time inspiring to see that while my mom was healing from that loss, she had to start her own cancer battle and beat it too. My mom is actually attending this virtual Make the Magic tonight, and she didn't know that I would be speaking. So, Mom, this one's for you. I know that I'm technically an adult now, but I will always be in awe of you. When people ask me who I want to be in the future or what I want to do with my life, I will always tell them that I want to be you. If I am half the person you are, I will have succeeded. The grace and the strength that you showed fighting cancer and losing Dad and every single day today is inspiring. I'm so proud of you, and I am so proud to be your daughter. I went on to become outreach coordinator and then director of CKUW for 2 years, and while it's a challenging position, it was the best thing I could have done with my college experience. Sometimes things can feel like a lot of paperwork, and you can lose sight of the end goal. That isn't the case with Kesem. You can see and feel the tangible difference that you're making. The camp videos we put together, the pictures, you can relive the experience anytime. The difference that Kesem makes is so clear, and that's what inspired me. I Kesem for my dad, who I hope is proud of me. I Kesem for my mom, who I strive to be more like and make proud every single day. And I Kesem for the kids, who shouldn't have to grow up so quickly and worry about their parents' chemo or radiation or surgeries. Kids who should get to be kids and not feel so alone. I Kesem to make sure that our kids get at least 1 week of their summer screaming songs about Toast or Princess Pat and the moose who loves juice. So I'd like to ask you again, why do you Kesem? Who do you Kesem for? I want to thank our student volunteers. I know how difficult it can be to complete all of your schoolwork while dedicating time to Kesem, while even working. But I can't imagine how difficult it's been over the last year, and I want your efforts and dedication to be recognized. You are the reason these kids get Kesem in any format this year, and you should be so proud of yourselves. I know we talk about Kesem having magic or being magic, but the reality is you create most of that magic. You are most of that magic. So thank you. And I want to end with a big thank you to every single one of you watching right now as well. Thank you for letting me share my story with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing to spend your night making a difference. When you give us your time, when you share Kesem with your friends and family, when you donate and support us, you are making a difference. You're giving our campers a community where they feel loved and supported, and I thank every one of you for that. Have a great evening and enjoy the program.
Thank you, Katie, for sharing those touching remarks and your story. Stories like these help us see the impact that Kesem has on members, even as they move through new stages of their life.
As we shared earlier, we believe that Camp Kesem is a transformative for everyone that it touches. From our student leaders, campers, alumni, parents, and supporters, we know that the magic experience as part of Camp Kesem has an enduring impact. We are honored to introduce to you one of our awesome past campers and current counselors to share her Kesem story. Please join me in welcoming Bryn Fishy Carter.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bryn Carter, but the Kesem world knows me better as Fishy. I am currently a counselor in my second year with Kesem at the University of Washington. I'm with you tonight to talk about my experiences with Kesem, both as a camper and a counselor. I went to my first ever Camp Kesem back in 2012, hosted by the University of Minnesota. Over the past 9 years, I've watched both my home chapter and this chapter at the University of Washington grow so much. And during that time, Camp Kesem has also led me to my own personal growth. My mom found Kesem in a really random way. We were doing a 5K that was raising money and awareness for colon cancer called Get Your Rear in Gear. When I was that young, I think the last place I wanted to be on a Saturday morning was a running event. However, this 5K race actually ended up bringing me the group of people I now call my family. My mom happened to be walking around the different booths that you always see at the end of the race, and she decided to stop at that one that had Camp Kesem on it. Not really knowing what it was, she immediately signed my sister and I up for camp, especially because these college students running it were so eager to get us into camp, as there were only 2 spots left for the upcoming summer. I honestly didn't want to go to summer camp at all. The thought of meeting new people, especially people that had also dealt with having a parent with cancer, seemed like a really bad idea to me at the time. I didn't want to sit around and think about my dad, who I had just lost to cancer. My first summer at camp, I had some of the greatest counselors, one who I would like to talk a little bit more about because of how influential she was. Her name is Peanut. During my first empowerment ceremony, I found out that Peanut had also lost her dad to colon cancer when she was my age at the time. And finding that out made it somewhat easier to understand how I was feeling. It made me realize that I was going to be okay because I had other people that I knew would support me. I knew that the people in Kesem were going through the same thing, and although that didn't make losing my dad to cancer any easier, it made me realize that I am not the only one out there. Throughout the time I spent with Kesem as a camper, every single year I met new people that showed the same compassion and understanding that everyone else had already given me. And this is where I really started to change as a person. Before Kesem, I was really awkward and I didn't know how to talk to strangers. I sort of just wanted to keep to myself all of the time. When I lost my dad, this amplified. I shut down, I kept all of my emotions in, I really just pushed it all away, and that almost broke me. After my first few years going to camp, I started to open up. I started to share my story and to really pay attention to what my peers had to say. This not only allowed me to be more friendly and social, but it pushed me even further into becoming a leader. The leadership skills that I gained from camp in general, but especially the teen leadership program, helped me realize that I didn't want my high school graduation to be the end of Kesem. I knew I had to go on to be a counselor. When I was figuring out where I should attend college, I didn't actually factor Kesem into my decision at all. I knew it was going to be a part of my future, so I was either going to join an existing chapter or I was going to start a new chapter of Camp Kesem. After choosing the University of Washington, I almost immediately contacted the chapter about getting involved with Kesem in the fall. For me, this was actually a really big step because not only was I moving to a completely different place where I didn't really know anybody, but I knew that I was leaving my Kesem family that I had been with for 8 years to join a new group of people, so I was honestly quite anxious. However, I also knew that this wouldn't be that big of an issue for me because of the love that everyone in Kesem has. I knew that I already had a group of people in my new home that was ready to take me in. They welcomed me with open arms and really made my transition from a camper to a counselor so memorable and exciting. Over the past year and a half here, I have become a part of yet another amazing group of people. Getting to know the people that put on camp has been so inspiring for me because I never really knew what the background of Kesem looked like and how much work it really took to put on a summer camp. Being a part of creating camp has given me a new perspective about Kesem. Understanding that camp is 100% produced and put on by volunteers amazes me because it really is a lot of hard work. It has shown me that thousands of people care so much about supporting each other, and especially kids that have to go through having a parent with cancer. Kesem is a place that is truly genuine because of that, and that is what makes it so special to me. Everyone that is a part of Kesem really does want to be there, and that in itself creates such a positive environment, an environment that is supported and created by love. I am so grateful for the experiences that Kesem has given me and will continue to give me, and Kesem would also not exist today without all of our donors. I cannot put into words how appreciative I am of having camp available for me when I needed it the most. And I am even more thankful that I can continue to be a part of it for the rest of my life.
Thank you, Fishy. We're grateful for you for sharing your story and for being a part of Kesem. Camp Kesem is a big believer in sharing our mission, sharing our impact.
We want to give you all the opportunity to see how much of an impact Kesem can have and give you a glimpse into our programming. We'd like to turn again to our Camp Kesem community and introduce you to a very special family, the Whartons. This is their story.
Okay, are you ready?
Oh, my best. My name is Freckles.
My name is Half Pint.
My name is Flash. My name is Lightning.
And my name's Frodo.
I would describe my dad as strong. He's active. He loves to rock climb, he loves to hike, he loves being outside. My dad is a huge nerd. One of his favorite books is Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is definitely a childhood favorite. Now my kids are fans.
I started to read the books and I got bored, and so I just watched the movie.
That story means a lot to me. Back in 2009, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a blood cancer. The kids at that time were 2, 3, and 6. And so that was, as you can imagine, a shock.
His immune system was severely weakened by all this radiation and treatment. He couldn't do much. We had to be super, super gentle with him. And that was really hard because it's like my dad had literally been taken away from me.
They had 4 years of growing up with it, kind of dealing with it on their own. They had just reached that age where especially the boys were starting to process a little bit more. Camp Kesem came in right when we needed it to.
What we decided to do is create a letter that was from Camp Kesem, and we put it on the top of the Christmas tree.
We woke up, we ran out of our rooms, and the first thing we grabbed was the envelope, expecting like some big trip or something.
We asked Karis to get down the letter, and then she read it out loud.
Merry Christmas, Karis, Nathan, and Brennan. This note is to let you know that you've been accepted to attend Camp Kesem 2014 this summer.
And at first the reaction's hilarious because she's just like, what is this?
I wasn't gonna know anybody. I didn't know if this was like a pity camp almost.
Real quickly, we just started saying, okay, so here's some things you get to do. You ready? Horseback riding, canoeing,
zip lining.
Karis's face like explodes, and the boys, and you see their jaw literally drops open as they realize that they're gonna get to do some things that they've never done before.
I thought we were coming to camp and it was just gonna be like, oh, we're all gonna be crying the whole time. But I was running around, I was so happy.
After that first week, what we saw was just the way they interacted with the counselors. It's like they had big brothers and sisters, hugging everybody, and then introducing all their friends. And we had to then learn all these crazy names.
So the funniest counselor names I've heard: Squirt, Roadrunner, Zoogles, Honey Bun, Hot Dog, Kitten, Chickadoodle.
I remember asking when they, when we got in the car, like, so what'd you guys think? Do you want to go back? And of course, instantly, they couldn't wait.
To have that grounding and that stability for when Joel's reoccurrence happened was just a complete godsend.
I was thinking about it. It's just like, what if my dad dies? What if I'm not gonna have a dad when I grow up? You know? And Camp Kesem got my mind off of that. It does scare me a lot. I don't want to lose him. That's for sure.
There's a lot of moments during the cancer process, the treatments, that feel very lonely. Lord of the Rings, it's very symbolic of what this journey is. Frodo in the book is the only one that can ultimately carry the ring and throw it into the fires of Mordor. And I'm the only one that can carry the ring. I'm the only one that can carry this cancer thing. I think the thing that concerns me the most about families who are going through this is that the kids feel isolated. Camp Kesem makes them feel normal. And even if they decide that they don't want to talk about it, the fact is that they're surrounded by all these people who just get it. And that's a gift.
If I didn't have Camp Kesem, I wouldn't be the same kid that I am today. Here I have probably made the most memories, the most friends. Cancer sucks, and we have to fight through it together.
Camp Kesem totally transforms kids. It can take the shyest, quietest kid and make them loud and crazy, and it's magical.
What I feel like they emerge every year that they've gone is the confidence that they're gonna be okay. Cancer can certainly make life hard, and it can introduce a whole lot of sadness for a lot of families. It doesn't diminish the pain. It's just not the end of the story. It means a tremendous amount that the kids know that their Camp Kesem community is going to be with them, and those connections, they're forged in fire. They're lasting bonds because of the nature of what we're all dealing with. Millions of kids are impacted by a parent with cancer. Camp Kesem is providing a gift to so many families, but there's just so many more that need it.
We are so grateful for the Wharton family for sharing their story. Their story further shows the true magic of Kesem revolves around the children and the families we serve. It's what unites us all around this mission.
All right, so is everyone ready to make some magic? If you're ready, we welcome you to pop a smiley face in the chat to let us know. Ooh, am I starting to see smiley faces? Thank you for participating, everyone. Now I'd like to invite you to do something extraordinary for the 5 million children like the families we just heard from. Again, we want to acknowledge that the COVID-19 pandemic around us and concerns about health, safety, and the future, and we recognize that many individuals may not be able to donate as generously as they may have in the past. We understand this and appreciate any donation that can help us fulfill our mission in supporting families impacted by cancer. Normally, we have paddles for y'all to raise during this part of our programming. Instead of paddles, we welcome you to donate to Kesem by pressing the donate buttons to the right of us. And if you would like to make a donation by check, we ask that you mail it to the National P.O. Box, and we will include all of this in the following information and the follow-up email after this event. We really want to celebrate this portion of the event, and we want to encourage donors to react at the level that they plan on donating this evening by typing it in the chat. We'll be starting at the higher levels and progress to the lower levels of support. Every donation amount creates an impact. To add some fun and Kesem spirit to make the magic this evening, tonight's highest total donor will be mailed this beautiful custom Camp Kesem quilt made by Cupcake's mother.
So let's start the Kesem magic at the $2,500 level. The $2,500 level will provide supplies for our virtual camp. We feel like now more than ever, it's important to connect with our families. We are excited that we will still be able to provide support and bring virtual camp to the kiddos this summer. Their Kesem at Home packages include all of the camp supplies they need to follow along with activities like friendship bracelets and slime making, as well as merch like their camp t-shirts. If you're interested in donating at this level, there's a set of buttons to the right of your screen that you can click on to donate. These donation buttons will remain open throughout the rest of the paddle race.
All right, so the next level is the $1,000 level. This provides our friends and family days as a part of our year-round support for a child impacted by a parent's cancer. Friends and Family Days are a fun way for our camper families and friends of Kesem to spend time together playing fun games and singing camp songs. We look forward to seeing everyone at our Friends and Families Day this autumn.
For the $500 level, you will help provide us training for all of our student volunteers. Our volunteers go through extensive training to prepare for camp, which allows us to fully support the campers and their families throughout the week. This training ensures campers and counselors have the best possible experience they can at Camp Kesem.
Thank you so much to everyone that's donated so far. Next, for $250, just for this amount, we provide all of our warm welcomes for our families. Warm welcomes are little care packages full of camp surprises we send to welcome new campers when they register for camp each summer.
At this next level of $100, you can provide Kesem recruitment brochures. Our outreach coordinators travel around Washington and distribute these brochures to cancer treatment centers, hospitals, schools, and other community groups where our camper families may hear about us.
All right, so our next level for the evening is $50. For $50, you can assist us with purchasing birthday cards for all of our campers. We support our campers year-round and show them that Kesem cares. Wishing them the very best birthday is a part of how we show Kesem love year-round.
This next level is $25, enough to provide a Kesem at Home kit to a single camper. We strive to make sure all of our programs, virtual or in person, are inclusive and accessible for all of our campers. So in these Kesem at Home kits, we send them every supply they may need to participate in all of our camp activities.
Thank you so much to everyone who's donated so far. Our final level for this evening is $10, which will cover the cost of sending Kesem by Your Side packages to campers actively experiencing the loss of a parent. We support children through and beyond a parent's cancer. So when one of our camper parents loses their battle to cancer, we send a care package, attend the service, and do everything we can to support and show love for the family. We encourage everyone to donate at any of the previous levels or any amount that feels right to you. Every little bit helps, and we are truly thankful for anything you choose to contribute. Again, you can donate to the right of your screen using those predetermined buttons, and you can customize your donation amount.
That was amazing. I'm so deeply humbled by the generosity and support of everyone viewing right now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for embracing and spreading the mission of Kesem. Thank you for being a friend to children through and beyond their parents' cancer.
As we near the end of our program this evening, let us close with some special thanks. First, to our keynote speakers, Kitty and Fishy, thank you for being here and sharing your powerful stories. And to all of our advisory board members, our core board members, and to all of our counselors and Kesem members, thank you for allowing us to bring Kesem to so many children and families.
We want to thank you again for being here with us tonight. As you leave us, we hope you leave full, feeling the strength of this community, even in the darkest times, the incredible impact that Kesem has made in the lives of our campers, their families, and our student leaders, and the huge need and opportunity ahead of us to ensure that all 5 million children affected by a parent's cancer are supported. We are grateful for you, and we need you to continue to move our mission forward. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Your green eyes on weapon, shot a hole in my heart. Now I'm falling for the bad one, and I'm seeing stars. I don't wanna go slow. I don't wanna go slow. Every time you pull it backwards, I'm just gonna fall in faster. 'Cause I don't wanna go slow.
Thank you, campers.
Thank you, donors. Thank you, intake volunteers.
But I'ma give you that. So ask me how much I want you, and I'ma whisper back how many other girls you know say it all up.
Thank you, camper follow-up volunteers.
Thank you, Camp Kesem National Board of Directors.
Thank you, counselors.
And it never lasts, so I don't wanna go slow. I don't wanna go slow. Every time you pull it backwards, I'm just gonna fall in faster. 'Cause I don't wanna go slow.
Thank you, advisory board members.
Thank you, chapter directors.
Thank you, alumni.
Thank you, hotline operators.
Thank you, committee members.
Thank you to our alumni leadership board members. Thank you, camp advisors.
Thank you, health and wellness team members.
Thank you, camper parents.